American photographer Francis Benjamin Johnston sits in an early automobile, C, 1904, pictured with 3 others in a typical upper-class social scene of the era. U.S. postal workers in Washington, D.C. test autoped motorized scooters with high handlebars and small wheels for special mail delivery. 3 Jamaican boys pose for a photograph in Kingston, Jamaica. Technicians from the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory prepare to launch a high-altitude research balloon into the upper atmosphere in 1965. Cleaning Jesus. 2 women wash a crucifix statue with a hose on church steps, not a child being sprayed with water. Workers repair or reinstall the iconic 4-faced clock atop the information booth at Grand Central Terminal in New York City. Early 20th century Paris fashion at the Longchamp Racecourse. Inside a New York City hair salon, where customers receive blowouts, styling, and teased hairstyles. Boisk-Paca ice cream cones inside the Sanitary Ice Cream Cone Co. factory in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. A police officer operates a hand-controlled mechanical traffic signal, displaying stop-and-go signs, an early alternative to modern traffic lights. Chicago firefighters battle a blaze in freezing weather as water from their hoses instantly turns to ice, encasing the building in a thick frozen shell. Imperial Airways passengers watch a film in a primitive cabin, enduring engine noise and turbulence typical of low-altitude air travel. A German firefighter suit equipped with water tubes connected to the helmet, designed to spray water over the wearer for protection from heat and flames. The first photograph of Earth taken from space, showing parts of New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California, and northwestern Mexico. The famous grand staircase aboard RMS Titanic, featuring polished wood and ornate craftsmanship in the ship's luxurious first-class section. Workers roll cigars in a factory, while a lector, seated at center, reads newspapers and literature aloud to entertain and educate them during work. Dr. Elizabeth Bruin sits in her horse-drawn ambulance. She was one of the few female physicians performing ambulance surgery in New York City. African-American women welders work at Kaiser Shipyards in Richmond, California, helping build the Liberty ship SS George Washington Carver during World War II. Inside a Harley-Davidson factory, workers hand-assemble motorcycles at long workbenches during the company's early years of production. A migrant farming family from Texas at a temporary camp in Marysville, California, after relocating in search of work and better living conditions. Inside RMS Titanic's luxurious gymnasium, first-class passengers had access to advanced equipment, including rowing machines, stationary bicycles, and an electric horse-riding machine. The man known as Europe's heaviest man, reportedly weighing over 440 pounds, an oval rooftop test track used to evaluate new car models at the Fiat Lingotto factory in Turin, Italy. Vassar College students at Class Day in New York, a pre-graduation celebration where seniors gather for their final class event, 1895. A family enjoying a beach in France, with children playfully burying their father in the sand, a common seaside game at the time. Aerial view of Stonehenge on Salisbury Plain, Wiltshire, England, showing massive stones arranged in concentric circles surrounded by earthworks. An art class at Georgetown Visitation Preparatory School in Washington, D.C., where students work at tilting drawing boards. Inside the Tuskegee Institute Chapel in Alabama, filled with African American women students attending a ceremonial gathering, United States. Inside the New Willard Hotel bar in Washington, D.C., 3 male staff members, including one African American man, stand behind a dark wood counter. Patients performing physical exercise at Sint Willibrordus Psychiatric Hospital in the Netherlands. A crowd gathers at the pier in Ostend, Belgium, to watch a balloon event shortly before the city's occupation by German forces during World War I. Workers inside the U.S. Naval Gun Factory at Washington Navy Yard use overhead pulleys and cables to lift a large naval gun into position. A parade at the midway of the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, featuring camel riders during the 1901 World's Fair. The Kashmir Giants, believed to be brothers, stand beside American photographer and explorer James Rickelton of Eastman Kodak at the Delhi Durbar. A restaurant in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, showing menu prices on a wall sign, including fried shrimp for 85 cents and a quarter chicken for 70 cents. A worker grilling hamburgers at a fast food stand with advertising signs for Royal Crown Cola and 7-Up displayed nearby. Giant sequoia. This is the base of a sequoia tree cut down in 1891 at Camp Badger, Tulare County, California. African-American inventor Charles S. L. Baker, known for the friction heater, stands with another man believed to be his brother, Peter Baker. Window washers on the Empire State Building in New York, suspended outside the skyscraper using leather safety belts or simple ropes while working. A group of children playing with a bulldog on the sandy beach at Coney Island, New York. The crew of a Boeing B-29 Superfortress poses for a photo beside the aircraft's nose art painted on the fuselage on Saipan. A woman in the United States uses a hand butter churn to turn cream into butter, an early traditional method of dairy preparation. Whitehall from Trafalgar Square in London in one of the earliest photographs taken in the city, 1839. U.S. women's suffrage protest. Mary Windsor holds a banner supporting political prisoners, arguing that demanding women's freedom is not a crime. Muslim woman Zejneba Hardaga uses a scarf to conceal the yellow Star of David on her Jewish neighbor Rivka Kabilio, protecting her from Nazi persecution. Women in Kabul, Afghanistan, wearing modern dresses and styled hair inside a record store. Women working in a British post office, seated along long benches, sorting mail and parcels, reflecting the evolution of early office work attire and roles. During the liberation of Paris, civilians, including women and children, flee remaining German sniper fire near Place de la Concorde and Notre Dame Cathedral. Elspeth Beard, the first British woman to ride a motorcycle around the world, began her 56,000 kilometers journey across 23 countries in 1982 and returned to London in 1984. 2 women walk on a street in Toronto, Canada, wearing shorts at a time when such attire was still uncommon and drew public attention. Men's fashion featuring Oxford bags, extremely wide-legged trousers popular in 1920s Britain, a trend that originated in British universities. An experimental youth rejuvenation trend. Germany, involving unsafe methods such as the use of animal-derived extracts. Spiritualist Evans claimed levitation through spirit power, but it was a staged hoax. He jumped in total darkness, timed with a camera flash to create the illusion in London. Air pollution in New York City, with the Empire State Building in the distance through heavy smog containing harmful gases like carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide. Classroom at Carlisle Indian Industrial School, Pennsylvania, part of a tragic chapter in which indigenous children were separated from their families and culture. Inside the Tuskegee Institute Dining Hall in Alabama, students share a meal in a hall decorated for a holiday celebrations. An Inuit family, man, woman, and infant, at the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, on display as part of the World's Fair. Tourists and a guide having an outdoor picnic in Yellowstone National Park. Stockholm Telephone Tower, a historic structure in Sweden that connected around 5,500 physical telephone lines across the city of Stockholm. A participant in the Hungarian Revolution of 1956, carrying a Molotov cocktail behind his back during the uprising. A lumberjack inside a massive redwood stump, c. 1900. The work was highly dangerous, requiring skill to control the trees, fall and avoid accidents. A young girl sits on a homemade toy car fitted with a real license plate in Harlem, New York. Two young girls standing beside their homemade snow fort, often called their snow house. A tattoo artist working on a woman's thigh. Claude Monet in his Giverny studio, filled with natural light, surrounded by his paintings including water lilies, in a rattan-furnished workspace. Quay House, the smallest house in Great Britain, located in Conwy, Wales, measures about 183 centimeters wide and 310 centimeters high. And a woman having tea with her pet cheetah at a cafe in Bois de Boulogne, Paris, reflecting the elite trend of exotic pet ownership at the time. Beach fashion in 1910, with modest swimwear, men in wool one-piece suits and women in full coverage bathing costumes. A romantic drive-in theater scene in the U.S., with rows of classic cars parked in front of a large screen showing a cowboy film. Steelworkers building the Empire State Building in New York, working at great heights without modern safety equipment. Children sleeping on Mulberry Street, New York, 1890, reflecting homelessness and extreme poverty among children in the Lower East Side. An oasis at Giza, with a local man standing beside his camel by the water and palm trees, and the pyramids visible in the distance. A woman cooking in a small home kitchen during the Great Depression, using a wood-burning stove marked Ben-Hur. A young girl and boy selling newspapers on the streets of New York City. Niagara Falls in winter, where an ice bridge formed across the river. Visitors once walked on the ice until it collapsed. Hershey Chocolate Factory in Pennsylvania, where women hand-wrapped Hershey's Kisses in foil at long wooden tables before full automation. New Year's Eve, 1969, at Grand Central Station in New York City, where partygoers rest or fall asleep on escalators after the celebrations. Princess Yvonne and Prince Alexander of St. Wittgenstein-Seine aboard a private yacht off Majorca, Spain. A stunt car known as the Palpitating Pegasus from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, performing a wheelie during an American Legion parade, 1936. George Stern, an inventor from Maryland, demonstrates a highly volatile liquid in 1938 that burns so quickly, its flame does not produce enough heat to burn the hand.